Hey everyone, I'm Traverse, and today I have a bit of a different video for you guys. Today I'm going to discuss my theories on what Endermen are, and what I believe to be true. Now, before I start, none of this is confirmed or denied. This is just my theory of what happened. So I know a lot of people have made their own videos on their theories, and this one's going to be slightly similar, but there's a couple things that other people say that I don't agree with. So here is my theory. So I believe that Endermen were once very extraordinarily intelligent humans, just like we are when we first get in. But after a while of scouring around, gathering resources, they finally got the technology to go to the end. And once they got into the end, they survived off of chorus fruits, which I'll go into later, and they learned to adapt to their new surroundings. But I'm going to explain all of that right now. So let me start off by saying their physical structure is very similar to that of Steve, the person you play as. So the thing I'm talking about is their head shape, their eye shape, and their body shape. It all resembles that of a human. So a very compelling argument about why they were once very intelligent creatures is that they're the only mobs that can pick up blocks. Now they can pick up many common items in the overworld, such as grass, dirt, and melons, but the things that interest me most are TNT and netherrack. Now this will be very important, but I'll go into that all later. So why are they holding these blocks? I think it's because they either want to reminisce about what they used to build, or they can't remember what they used to be able to build. And so they're trying to figure it out, but they just can't figure it out. I'll go into that later onto why. So they built mine shafts and temples because who else could have built them, except for zombies. But that is a different theory for a different day. So I believe that they built these sand temples. And the reason I think that is because they're all rigged with TNT, a block that Endermen can pick up and carry around. But let me be clear when I say that I do not believe that Endermen built the villages. I believe that the villagers built them. However, I do believe that at one point, maybe, the villagers and the Endermen were one species. Now that is a very different theory for a very different day as well. But if you guys like this one, let me know, and I might do that one too. Something they are known for is having built obsidian pillars in end cities because the dragon tells them to. Now, the reason I think the dragon tells them to is because they have healing properties. These pillars have little cubes on the top of it that heal the ender dragon whenever it's harmed. Now, the ender dragon cannot build, meaning that the only thing in there that could build is this ancient civilization. So one thing to note about Endermen is they are not hostile until you are hostile to them, meaning hitting them or looking them in the eyes. Now this proves that they are peaceful creatures to begin with and only attack when provoked. Now let's go into the sounds that Endermen make. Every sound that they make is a distorted version of someone saying something. Some words that were found are words such as hey, hello, what's up, and look for the eye. Now, this last one really interests me because look for the eye is referring to the Eye of Ender. Now, if you don't know what the Eye of Ender is, it's an eyeball that when you throw it, it goes up into the sky and leads you straight to the End Stronghold. Now, Eyes of Ender require nether-based materials to craft, such as blaze powder. Now, this leads me to believe that these Endermen were once able to visit the Nether, meaning that they were intelligent creatures and could visit the Nether if they needed to. Now, once you follow the eyes, you will be led to a stronghold. This stronghold is secure and hidden, and it's always hidden underground. Now, the reason why they would put the stronghold underground, I'm not too certain about, but I do have theories. I believe that there was something happening in the overworld that caused an increasing number of zombies, and due to this, they had to construct a living space underground where they could hide from the wrath of these zombies. Or maybe in this stronghold, they were constructing experiments that they didn't want other people to know about, which is why this stronghold is always so hidden. Now, if this ancient civilization was so good with blocks, and good with building, and good with intelligence, when they went into the end, they would have never returned, because there is no way to return from the end without killing the dragon, meaning that the most intelligent and strongest people would have gone to the end, never to return. Now this would leave the overworld in shambles, causing people to starve and die, resulting in zombies. Now onto the portal. The end portal is incomplete when you first arrive. I believe it's because the previous civilization recognized its power when their friends didn't return after going in, and they removed one of the eyes to shut it down. You cannot craft the portal in survival, as in you can't craft the blocks needed to make the portal, because you are not as advanced in this technology as the ancient civilization was. Now what I believe happened when the Endermen first went into the end, they were not Endermen at this time, but they reached the end and tried to fight the dragon, which could explain why the end looks somewhat destroyed in certain parts. But once they learned that they will not be able to defeat this dragon and it would just be an endless war, they began to make peace with the dragon and live off something called chorus fruit that is found in the end. Now, if you don't know what chorus fruit is, it is a fruit that has teleportation properties. Also, this fruit gives off the purple particles that you can see on Endermen. I believe that as this ancient civilization began to feed off this fruit, it slowly changed them into the Endermen we know today. However, there's a flaw to this. Eyes of Ender require Ender Pearls, and I do not know how this civilization would have access to the Ender Pearls if they didn't go to the end before making them. Now, moving on. Now, once you are in the end and you get to explore these end cities, you will find that they keep armor, weapons, ingots, horse armor, and emeralds in the chest. Now, the armor, weapons, ingots, and horse armor don't interest me too much because it's just a simple theory that they brought these items into the end when they went in there the last time that they're part of this civilization. They brought it in just in case there's any threat, which there was. However, as time went on, they did not need these weapons or this armor anymore, and so they forgot how to use it. But something that interests me is that they brought emeralds into the end. Now, the reason this interests me is because villagers are very well known for trading with or for emeralds. Now, again, this leads back to my theory that villagers and Endermen were once the same species, although again, that will not be part of this video. Something that I've noticed is that when you fight the Ender Dragon, the Endermen will not fight you. Now, you would think that if the Endermen were under this control of this dragon, the dragon would force them to fight you. However, the Endermen do not fight you when you fight the dragon. I believe this is because they recognize that you are trying to free them from this oppression, and they know that if they helped you and you failed, the dragon would kill them. However, when you do kill the Ender Dragon, you get the achievement called Free the End. Now this is a very important achievement, because it means that the end is a prison for these Endermen. And once you kill this Ender Dragon, you are freeing this ancient civilization from this prison. Now let's get on to the smaller theories that are widely spoken about that people don't quite know the answers. Why are they hostile when you look at them in the eyes? I have two theories on this one. My first theory is that when they look at you in the eyes, they recognize that you are not one of them, and this frightens and angers them, and they want you to be one with them, and so they attack you to try and make you become one of them. Or they recognize you as one of their species, as one of their ancient, extinct species, and they remember that you never came to save them. Even though you weren't there when they went into this end, they don't know what happened when they went into the end. They don't know what happened in the overworld. So even though you weren't there, they think that you neglected them. They think that you left them behind, and so they want their revenge. Now, why do they hate water? Now, this is a theory that I'm not too certain on, but I do have two theories on. So they hate water because they haven't seen it for God knows how long. We don't know how long they were in the end, and therefore, we don't know when the last time they saw water was. And so, when they return to the overworld, they see this water, and they don't remember what it is. And so, their brain tricks them and thinks that it is lava. And so, whenever they go into it, they treat it as if it was lava, and so it harms them. Or, water takes away their ability to teleport, and therefore it harms them to step in water because they're made out of the particles that are used to teleport. So when they go into water, it disintegrates them. Now, why do they hate Endermites? If you'll notice, whenever Endermen and Endermites are near each other, they will become hostile. This, I believe, is because they are afraid to see what kind of corruption these Endermites are enduring, and how they have endured the same thing. And so they become hostile to these Endermites to try and remove them from existence, to try and stop the spread of this virus or corruption. Now, my last theory is about why they drop ender pearls when they die. If you remember, they live off of chorus fruit, and they used eyes of ender back in the overworld, but they did not use anything with ender pearls. So why do they drop them? I think it's because as they ate the chorus fruit, their bodies developed these ender pearls, kind of like organs, or maybe their heart. And so when you kill them, they drop this ender pearl. It's a very useful resource that can be used for crafting or teleportation. Now, once again, this is all simply a theory, and I could be wrong about all of this. I'm not too sure. But this is a theory that I believe in, and I believe it to be accurate. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And until then, see you guys next one.